Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
Good morning, soldiers.
What is going on in your mortgage world today?
Battling to win back some deals that I had already. That's what we're going to do. We're fighting for a deal that's come to fruition that we might lose 4 weeks after we worked on it.
Well, keep on fighting, Tommy. Anthony, how you feeling today?
Under the weather, but we're grinding.
All right. No days off. No days off.
No
I'm
days off.
saying it's allergies, big boy. Allergies.
My youngest one had a sinus cold and a sore throat and all that, and I picked it up yesterday.
Confirmed sinus infection. Yes.
Confirmed.
Well,
Yeah.
What
Confirmed.
about you, Rye?
not too much here. Just hanging out.
Got a bunch of sleep last night. You went to bed early.
Yeah, right. All kinds of sleep. No, just nothing too exciting. Looks like we got rates trending downwards this week. We might have our average-ish rate now below 7. We've been up, elevated above 7 for over a month now. So we got an inflation number coming next week. That's going to be very important. But, hopefully the economy is becoming bad enough in the Fed's eyes that they can do something. It seems like last week jobs number was bad. Inflation's still high. We'll see what the inflation number is next week, but maybe we reached a tipping point. I don't know. It's not a huge drop downward, but at least we're trending in the right direction the last 10 business days or so.
No, yeah, everything is looking a little bit better. So, yeah, rates are on the downtick, so get those buyers ready.
Yeah, because, with the elevated rates the last month, all I've been hearing about is inventory's up a little bit. So as the rates come back down around, you'll have buyers coming back in, and that inventory will probably be swept up pretty fast in this market, I would assume.
Yeah, I think it's going to heat up and kind of go to that. It's still hot though in every area. It's going to get crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Pop the roofs off.
And I think one of the biggest questions we have is, hey, why is, let's say, for example, a $400,000 home, different payments in different areas, right? Why is it not the same payment for every home? And the main reason for that is property taxes. And every state does property taxes a little bit differently. And we are going to have a Friday morning math problem here for the people. So Tom, Anthony, go get your Bert and Ernie dolls so we can start figuring out some math. But property taxes are different in every state. Pennsylvania, they do them differently than Ohio, than West Virginia, than New York. A lot of times we'll see this with out-of-state buyers. They're like, what the heck is going on with your property taxes? Why are you collecting so much property taxes in your escrow? And when you see other lenders that only have 2 or 3 months in that estimate, just got to shake your head, Anth. Just got to shake your head. So what we do in Pennsylvania, it's not that hard, but it's a little bit complicated. There are 3 different property taxes that make up your total property tax. You have your county, you have your municipality, and you have your school district. Now, during COVID, Allegheny County, let's be honest, was screwing over every single buyer out there that bought during those years. And why is that? It's because taxes are based off your current value. So say you bought a home in Allegheny County during COVID and it was $400,000. After closing, the county was reassessing these buyers and coming back for 80, 90, 95% of that value and reassessing buyers when their neighbor, because they haven't sold in 20 years, their taxes were way, 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 way lower. So this became a problem. It became a epidemic of our own kind in Allegheny County, where buyers were getting reassessed after closing Their property taxes were skyrocketing, which were making their payments skyrocket. Now, this has all gone through the courts, and it seems to me, Tom, you can chime in here. It seems like the county common level ratio for 2024 is now 54.5%. That means the taxes are based off 54.5% of your current value.
No, 100%. It actually makes it more reasonable, and this is a pretty decent number, I think, having it at 54.5. When they were getting reassessed, buying these $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 homes and getting reassessed at 90% of that, the taxes were just out of control. $1,000, $1,200 a month on these properties, where, like you said, their neighbor was only paying $300 a month. I still think it is a little bit of an issue, just because I know kind of what I'm paying for mine as well as my neighbors still, because none of them are getting reassessed that aren't moving or doing anything. The school districts aren't going after those types of people. However, I do think it's still a little bit unfair and uneasy because the new homeowners are the ones paying for everybody else. I'm not in that type of world. I don't like to live like that where everybody else is paying for somebody else's needs. So I still think it is a little bit unfair. I don't want to call it unfair housing, but it almost is in a way that some people have to pay more. I would say just because they're younger, because a lot of the older population is staying put and not having to pay those higher taxes.
And it's why they dubbed it the newcomer tax, right? They're the new home buyer tax, because you're only getting taxed if you are purchasing new, just because the county can see that you just bought. I have seen the city of Pittsburgh, the school districts, of course, everyone's up in arms because they want their money. They want as much money as they can. They're now asking for a county-wide assessment. So this is far from over. But if anyone out there or any listing agent needs to know how to calculate taxes in Allegheny County, it is such an easy process. First, you got to get the current value. If your house is for sale, it's pretty easy to get that current value. Then you have to get 54.5% of that value. So if you have 400,000, that would be 218,000. Then you take 218,000 and you base that off the 3 millages. Now you can go right on the county website and find the millages. Now the millages are going to be different for every area. This is why property taxes are different for every property. So I'm a Robinson Township guy. So we based everything off Robinson Township. So Allegheny County is 4.73. Robinson Township is 3.2. Montour School District is 17.9638. That is the total millages of 25.8938. We turn that into a decimal, 0.0258938. We multiply that by the 218, which is the common level ratio, and you're given your yearly property taxes of the 5644 right there. It's not rocket science. It's very easy to calculate that yearly tax. Why do we need to update taxes and calculate them correctly? It's because what we just talked about, if you have a homeowner that hasn't sold their house in 20 years, what they're paying in taxes is not going to be what that new homeowner is going to have. I mean, Ant, we see it all the time that if you have a big discrepancy here, you're going to get reassessed after closing.
Yeah, especially depending on the area. I mean, a lot of these homes are assessed for much, much lower than what they're buying it for. I mean, I had one yesterday. It was assessed for $68,000. They're buying it for $480,000. It's definitely kind of crazy. But having that information up front makes for a more happy client, later on down the line, so that they're not coming back saying, what the heck happened to my taxes? So
especially this time of year, right? We're getting to that time of year where you're going to have 12 months of that escrow, just like we were talking about for that school tax. It's a big difference. If you're going to have accurate numbers for buyers regarding their monthly payment and cash to close, I don't know if there's anything more important than the property taxes, especially in Allegheny County, because they range so much from municipality to municipality.
Yeah, and I think, you know what, man, I think it's important if somebody's selling a property or they're listing a property, you know, I know a lot of the real estate firms, they use third-party services for that, but a lot of the times that's the homestead exemption, that's the discounted taxes. So if they do the millages and put it on the listing, the client isn't surprised during the process when we get that tax certification back, showing that those taxes may be higher. You know, ultimately helps with qualifying as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's definitely important. You know, in my eyes, if you're listing a property, you're making that public information. If you're putting the wrong tax information out there, that's going to upset the apple cart somewhere along the way. Hell, it could even make for a buyer to not qualify. And you know, we're always doing our due diligence to double check taxes as much as we can, but I don't think either of us are listing properties and putting information out there to the public. So just make sure that tax information is accurate as possible. And I think we can all give a 5-minute class if anyone calls, if they have any help or need help calculating the taxes. Because as we just did it, it is very, very easy. I think
Ryan, I'm actually offering 3 different 5-minute classes. I'm offering a 5-minute tax class, a 5-minute Agent One app class, and a 5-minute cost estimate reading class. So reach out to me to go for any of my 5-minute classes I'm teaching.
Wowzer, we got a Friday bonanza from Tom Burko. Not 1, not 2, but 3 5-minute classes. Call them today, ladies and gentlemen.
Call and sign up today. First person to sign up gets a t-shirt.
Whoa! Hey, those t-shirts are very comfortable.
I sleep in one every night.
Very comfortable. All right, boys, that's all we got. Great tax class. We will see you Tuesday. Call us for anything over the weekend. See you later.
Later.